Howdy folks, welcome back to Mine Mogul. This will probably be the final episode in Season 2, because we're ready to tackle the Mine Mogul task, which is, the quest, which is the last one. Got everything done except this, and my escape key, there we go, my escape key was stuck. I've got a monster of a layout here too. I have every single mining spot open and chugging along, and I've expanded the threading lathe setup to 16 lathes. It's pretty fun. We're going to need that for copper and polished steel here for the Mine Mogul quest. And what else have I got? Yeah, I expanded this a little bit out to 4 to accommodate that. This seems to be a pretty good mix. 4 of the rod extruders into 16 threading lathes. Let's just rip through them. I don't remember if I had this exact pipe set up or not. Got the 4 pipes. I can pull these out if I wanted to get just plates. But let's go take a look at the expansion a little bit. And I've got a lot to show you. I've done a few changes here and there. Guess while I'm here, I had trouble with these switches leaking. I did have the routing conveyors here. They would leak and stuff would go through, so I just got rid of those. These are fairly well balanced now. When I was doing the copper gears, I did have to put a smart splitter here and send copper off over to a temporary smelter over there because it was just overwhelming it. But the setup we have right now works pretty well. Like I said, I've got a miner on every spot. And on the gold spots, I've got the rapid auto miner because we just needed more gold. But let's go explore. I'm trying to remember how to get up there. Well, we can. I can show you something else new, and we can get up there that way. Uh-oh. It's quite a factory. So you may notice there's some conveyors up there. That's bringing down a bunch of stuff from up top, including a lot of gold. So let's work our way up the conveyor. Also gives us a nice overview of the factory. There were 3 more spots to open up with the dynamite. I went ahead and did that. So this comes out of the gold area. And this has some of the rapid auto miners on it. And I've got the upgraded drill bit. It's a little bit slower, but it doesn't break, so it just keeps on chugging. I think we have a little bit of an issue here. When these roll out, they must be occasionally colliding with those. Yeah, interesting. All right, so there's always tweaks to be done, right? Let's throw those over there and hope for the best. Let's put you on there and you on there. So even when you're done, you're not done. There's always changes and improvements you could make. Anyway, that's all the gold coming out. And let's see, where else did I expand to? It's been a while since I recorded the last episode, so I can't remember exactly where I left off. I had a breakthrough somewhere. Yeah, that goes down and out. I think it was actually up at the top part of... Yeah, it was up at the top part. So this area just goes through to nowhere. I don't remember if I showed that in the last video. So over here I broke through, and of course it just connected. Just connected up to... Is it here? I've forgotten now. There's so many places in this mine. It's crazy. No, that just goes through to there. That was the copper. Was it here? Yeah, this just kind of goes through to that. And then this goes through back out to here. So as far as I know, I have everything opened up. We have a lot of material falling down through here now. Central pillar. If I missed something, somebody can let me know, but I do believe I have everything. We still have a little bit of stuff falling out here, strangely enough. I've been trying to get this to not fall out. You can see I put a hopper on the bottom here. Get in there. And that's mostly eliminated it. We still get a little bit of stuff falling through. Yeah, I've cranked up everything. And this works pretty well. I ripped through all the prior quests, the regular moguls. Got them all done. One thing we'll need to change is the coal ore. Right now I've got it producing steel. So all the coal ore is getting crushed. That's okay. We can do that. And then I ended up redoing the gold and copper because there got to be just too many ingots. So I've separated them out, as you can see. Then they come over here. They get pre-polished. And then I can send them off to get sold, which is what the gold is doing right now, as well as the copper. And then they poke through over here so we can go do stuff with them. So I think we'll work on copper. What do we need for gold? Just plate? Yeah, so we'll bring the gold over to the plating. We'll have the copper go in and do threaded rods. So if we bring this across, that'll give us a room to get the gold underneath. And then if we just come straight down, we have room here. I don't like to do an immediate turn just to kind of give the ingots a chance to straighten out a little bit. Alright, so that will let us get the copper in. So let's turn the copper on. Get that making the threaded rods. Then we need to bring the gold down and go underneath the copper. Well, I'm going to have to break my thing that I just said I don't like doing, but that's okay. Come on. Get in there. There you go. We need the gold to go over and get turned into plates. So let's separate this out by one, just in case we have some weirdness. And for now, the polished steel is just going out and getting sold. Oops. Do that a lot when I get in a hurry. There we go. Now we can turn the gold on. So I just need to sneak up here, turn the gold on. Oh, we did something. We overflowed somewhere. How did you get in there? Also, this keeps happening. I'm not sure why. They keep getting stuck in there. So what I have to do is pull that out and then put it back in. It's the second time I've had to do that. I'm not sure what's up. Something about them coming off of here, I guess. Might need to move that out one. So how did the iron ore get down in there? I went in and put these on there, because occasionally the sweep arm would push one off the side, but it should go into the smelter. So I don't know how that iron got down there. Interesting. Stuff will happen. Anyway, we've got, I've got pipes being made. I don't need pipes, I need plates. Forgot to switch that back. Let me go turn the gold off. We'll get that switched up. While that's waiting, one area that's a little problematic is here. When you get a whole lot of rods changing direction, they can do goofy things. Especially when I was running the the iron through, I had a ton more rods. They would occasionally fall down here, as you can see. So the factory is working great, but it's definitely not perfect. I had I wish I should have taken a screenshot or something. I had a gigantic pile of the diamond gem and geodes over here. Was saving them up, and then I got up to like almost 5,000 objects. And it was turning off my auto miners, so it was still running okay. So I went ahead and sold the pile. That's why we have almost $5 million now. Now they're just going through and getting sold for this quest, so we got that going. All right, let's get the gold switched over. But you can see this is just ripping. Oops. This is just ripping through the rods. It takes up a lot of real estate, but it works really well. You can see here the rods just pouring in. We got to do 5,000 of them, so keep up the good work, giant threading floor. All right, we need to switch this over to just plates. So we'll take out these 8. Then I will get these guys down here. And we're gonna do that. And we just need to make sure we're pointed in the right direction. It wants to snap to the other one. There we go. And that will send the plates on through. Now I can go turn the gold back on. And the mega factory is in operation. See, polished steel ingots, we're a third of the way there. I think when I'm done with the polished steel ingots, I'm going to switch that over to gears. But then we're going to run into probably overflow issues here. We shall see. I know before when I was making the iron gears, I had to occasionally flip this so it would go sell. But we'll keep an eye on it. Alright, gold plates. Are you getting sold? Guess this is the first set of plates. I had corners here and they kept falling off. I don't remember if I had that in the video or not, so I went back to the drop, whatever these are called. What's the name of them? Roller conveyor ledge. Yeah, I went back to the ledge setup. That seems to work best. Alright, we have plates on the way. So we'll have it working on those. Oh yeah, here's some slag. I need to get rid of that. Just toss that on the cell line. What else can I show you? I think that's about it. I did have to upgrade the cell line here because sometimes it was getting over full. At some points I had both I had some ingots coming up there and I had the iron and the coal coming through. It was just getting to be too much. So I went ahead and upgraded that to the walled conveyors. That starts over here where this all joins up. So I probably could split off the coal and be selling it, but oh well. We've got more that we're kind of wasting coal at this point. That's okay. Also, if I wanted a little bit trickling in, this one is right by the sell point. But I have to redo all that conveyor, so I think I'll just leave it alone. At some point, I will split off the coal when we're done with the polished steel, and we'll just dump coal in there. That will be a fairly easy one to pick up. So I'm going to let this run. I'm going to have to record this maybe over days, because it's going to take a while to do all this. But I don't know that there's anything else to show you that I've changed, really. I've done a few tweaks here and there. I think I've showed you all of that. But it works really well. Pretty happy with it. Could always get some more lights around. Haven't done that yet. You can see we still every once in a while drop out some stuff. You know, it's not that big of a deal. I can always go sell it. This is the cell line, right? I think this line doesn't go through a polisher. If I remember right. This just goes up to... Yeah, it's got this multi-level drop-off here. So you got 1, 2, 3 levels of stuff. Yeah, this just goes to sell. It doesn't go through a polisher anymore. I redid this line over to here, so it goes through a polisher. Then it just goes over and sells. Oh, we have lost a steel ingot. So I'll keep an eye on the production, but it seems to be working pretty well. I don't really need to ramp up production with the rapid auto miners anymore, except with the gold. I've already got that set up. I think everywhere that has gold has a rapid auto miner now. Let me just go double check. Pretty sure I did that back over here as well. There's just not a whole lot of gold in the mine. Yeah, this has got the rapid miners as well. So we're pumping out as much gold as we can. Whee! And with this chugging along, we're at 3,100 or so. I've seen it as high as 3,800. But it usually runs around, you know, 32 to 3,500 objects. And I've got my setting on 4,000. Because even over that, I think it starts bogging down around 5,000 on my machine. I've got a pretty beefy CPU. But anywho, I'm going to let this run. And if there's something else I can show you, I'll bring it back in. Otherwise, I'll just kind of update this video as it processes as we work our way towards the final Mine Mogul achievement. Okay, progress has been made. We have polished copper threaded rods done. Polished steel ingots done. And polished steel gears done. And it looks like we got enough of the celestite. Not sure if that's how you say that. So I want to switch over the copper to copper pipe. And then the steel to threaded rods, I think. We'll turn the copper off. I need to turn the iron off. Let that settle down. And then gold. Yeah, we want to keep the gold plates going. How'd you sneak through? You're not supposed to sneak through. Yeah, some of it's sneaking through because it's piling up so much. Interesting. Probably need to change this to a corner then. So let's get rid of that. And we might have to spill some stuff. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Come on, get in there. There we go. Alright, those will work their way around. They'll eventually get sold. So that's not a big deal. Alright, we want to get rid of this. We don't need this anymore. We want the steel to come over and get threaded. So I'm thinking we might need to move the gold up. Have the steel come under. That might make more sense. So let's get down. Oh boy. Can we get down in here? My factory is convoluted. There we go. And we'll get rid of this. We'll have the gold go further up. So we can have this polished steel go right in where it needs to go. The placement gets pretty confused when there's a lot of stuff around. Kind of hard to get it to behave itself. Alright, that will go in, and I do need to, I think I had this selling. Yeah, I had this selling, so I need to switch that guy as well. That will send it upstairs to get the threaded rods made. Then I can come back over here and turn the steel back on. Then we still need gold to come over and get its stuff made. Let's go ahead and come out one more in case I do have to hook the copper back up. I don't think I will, but you never know. And then we'll just come out. Since that's already there, we'll just come out this way, and then we'll go down. And then that's hooked back into there. So now we can turn the gold back on. Open the floodgates once again. And then we are switched over. So we'll let that run through. I did a bunch of changing with the coal back here. And that's why we have gemstones. You see the polished ruby gem. So what I did was I temporarily replaced one of the crushers with just a belt. So it's sending the large ore chunks over, dumping it onto here, and I cut into this line that used to go sell. And I threw the wash plant thingy over here. Then I have a basket with ruby and diamond in it, so the big chunks can make rubies, like that one just did. The small chunks can make diamonds. So the rubies and diamonds come up here and loop around, and they go in there, and they go off and get polished and sold. And the coal just gets recycled, just goes back. Goes back and into to make steel. So it's a convoluted mess over here, but it works. So that's all that I care about. It does indeed work. Alright, you're chugging along. We should have threaded rods. Polished steel threaded rods. I hear, there we are. We finally made it up here. Last of the copper is headed out. And there we go. Polished steel threaded rods are cascading into the chasm. And this may get overwhelmed. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I had this upgraded and it worked last time I was running iron through here. Yeah, because the Mine Mogul took the threaded rods, right? Mine Mogul? Yeah. Yeah, this worked pretty well. That's why I had to expand to 16, because it just couldn't keep up once I was doing the iron. And these splitters work beautifully for the ingots. He says, as one gets stuck sideways, it'll eventually get knocked loose. These do work pretty well. Better than the smart splitter for the ingots. Alright, gold plates are rocking out. We're 2700. So well over halfway on that. And we're chugging away on the threaded rods now. And the rest just takes time. I'm going to have to do the same for iron. We'll just go ahead and concentrate on steel now since we got the steel going. Now I'll keep chugging along and I'll bring you in for another update when we're a little further along. We are on the home stretch now, folks. It's been a quick edit for you. It's the next day. Yeah, next day, I think. Day or two. For me, I've been letting this run. Just switched over all of the coal ore to be going through the wash plant. So we can finish off these ruby gems. You can see we're done with the polished steel. And we've moved on to polished iron pipe. Once these polished ruby gems are done, we just need about 100 more. I'm going to reroute this coal back up here to go sell. That'll finish off the coal ore quest. We're almost done with the gold ingots. They're rocking away. Copper-wise, we're getting close to being done with copper pipe. We shall see. I went ahead and removed the rod making, and I duplicated this pipe setup because we had so many pipes to do. So I've got the polished iron pipes on this side, and the polished copper pipes on this side. It's the exact same layout. It works well. 4 rolling mills into 4 pipe welders. And then I offset this just a bit because they were colliding when I first had them going directly into there. So this is offset a little bit. And it's a madhouse down here. This is not hooked up anymore. The threading lays up top, but I went ahead and left it there just in case I want to use it again because it took a little while to get set up. So yeah, we are rocking through. We're getting there. Slowly but surely. We're almost there on the emeralds as well. There was a big emerald shortage for a while. I don't know if the RNG was just against me or what, but yeah, the emeralds really fell off. We get a lot of diamonds though from that coal. That's all rocking through. I went ahead and redid this. I kept getting random chunks of stuff. Occasionally would come through, mess up the rollers. So I went ahead and just set up a couple of sorter baskets. These geode pieces take up so much room, I split it up. So that just splits off any gems. Anything else gets dumped out over here. Of course, since I set this up, nothing's gone through, but it's here. That's the main thing right now with this volume is just a little stray piece of something can mess things up. So I did the same thing here for the copper and the steel or iron. So in there I've got steel and iron ingots. Every once in a while, if a slag gets made, it'll go on through and get sold. And you can see we still got some stuff falling off occasionally. Actually, let's just go ahead and sell that so it doesn't mess up anything. Same thing with the copper. I've got a copper ingot in there. If any slag comes through, it at least won't gum up the machines. It'll still gum up the polisher occasionally over here. Yeah, look, we got a little stray piece of copper. Where did that come from? Who knows? Throw that on the cell line. Everything's running pretty smooth. I can't remember if I showed. I did split the copper up again. It just got to be a little too much. So I have a secondary copper smelter over here, and then it just runs back in and dumps back on the same line. Excuse me. Throw that on there. So we have a nice steady stream of copper coming through. And I apparently cannot press the space bar. There we go. 418 on the ruby gem, so we're getting there. Just want to make sure the coal doesn't stack up too much. That's a lot of coal for one wash plant. They seem to have a pretty high capacity, though. Yeah, seems to be keeping up no problem. Rocking that on through, and then whatever coal's getting through, since we're doing iron, it's getting redirected and sold. So things are humming along. We're looking good. We're on track. Another week or so we'll have this. No, it won't take that long. It will take a while. I did go ahead and buy all the trophies, so that's why my money is back down. I was up, I think, over 7 million. These trophies are $1 million a piece. So that was 5 million right there. I was trying to get them set up on the table, and I gave up. And then I just put them over here. They're a little bit of a pain. See if I can just get them all at least sitting upright. There we go. We got the 5 trophies. Let's get a screenshot of that. And then the only trophy we have left is once we get the ultimate Mine Mogul trophy unlocked, it's basically 10 million. So got a ways to go, but we're cranking through the money, no problem. Once I get this last quest done, I might fire back up and do like some steel polished rod. I guess I should look and see. I don't know what pays the most, but I'll probably set that back up and just be cranking out pipes and plates and whatnot. Might set up the gold to even do something. We'll see. Because at that point, I just need to make money. So I'm going to let this cook. It seems to be working pretty well so far. I'm going to keep on heading towards that ultimate Mine Mogul trophy. Hey, it helps if you unmute your mic. I got all of the ruby gems in there, so I've switched over the coal. We're no longer going through the wash plant there. I'm going to leave that there just in case I need to hook it back up at some point or want to. So I've got the coal in bypass mode, so none of it's getting crushed. And it's just all going to go out and get sold. So it winds its way up here. Dumps onto here. That coal is going to end because we're no longer sending it through. And then it'll work its way all the way down and start getting sold. And we'll see that coal ore counter start going up quite a bit here in a little bit. Meanwhile, we're still rocking along. We have the copper pipe done. And we're just working on the polished iron pipe, which has got less than 1,000 to go. Between that and the coal ore, we'll have that done. And we just need to make a ton of money. So the plant is working well. I did hear something beep at some point. I couldn't catch which polisher it was, so I don't know where that happened. But the occasional little glitch at this volume is kind of expected. Haven't had anything else drop down here. So we're looking good. The money continues to tick up. So look at all this stuff pouring in. It's awesome. We'll let this chug. And I'll see you when we got the quest complete, and then we'll wrap up by getting all the money we need. Alright, we're counting down. Polished iron pipe. 5 more to go. And done. Now I just need a lot more money. Let's open this up. I've done all the research. I don't think I showed that. I don't have anything left to research. And now we don't have anything left to quest. We just need to buy the trophy and call it a done deal. So, do pipes sell more or do threaded rods sell more? I'd have to double check that. Let's see, I don't have an ore analyzer. I'm pretty much done with most of this stuff, actually. Well, I'll keep it. I might be redoing something. Let me grab an ore analyzer. We'll do a little bit of min-maxing here. We'll see which sells for more. So if we grab, that's under the machines, right? Ore analyzer. $40. Done. Let's throw that over here. I wish you could see the thing better. All right, that's the monitor. That'll work. Let's put that right there. Oh, this isn't steel, but that's okay. So we could get an idea, maybe. So if we look at that, then we grab, I'm going to grab one of these. I'm going to make it back over there without dropping it. So the pipe was 78. We'll call it 80. Get on there. Plate doesn't want to go through. There it goes. So it's probably better off doing the threaded rods would be my guess. We could run one of those through and see. So we'll call it like $37 for the plate. If I grab one of these, I need a rod extruder. Do I still have that? I do still have those. Let's just extrude a rod real quick. And we'll see what that sells for. Then we can check the threaded rod as well. So plate was 36. Same price for that basically as a plate. So then if I can get back up there. Oh boy. No, that's not what I wanted to do. It's a little tricky jumping across here. You have to kind of crouch jump at some points. If I take this up here, I throw that in the old lathe. How much does that increase the value? And then steel will just be a little, you know, proportionally more, I'm guessing, than the polished iron. Yeah, decent amount. Alright, I think I'm going to hook that back up and do polished steel threaded rods. I think that is a good thing to do. We don't need the coal anymore. We're done with that. So let's do this. Other thing to do right now would just be to turn this off. Come on. Come on. There's so much stuff here. It's awesome. Alright, that's set in bypass, so that's fine. Go turn this bypass back off. We'll be ready to send that in to make steel here in a bit. Alright, I need to put the threaded rod back over here. So that is now off. So we can start tearing this down. I think that is all done. We'll leave that on there just in case. Oh, how did I have that set up now with the rods? Good question. We need to be able to get back up to here. Where's my tie-in? There it is. So we need to be able to come down. Almost seems like this bent back this way. Nah, I wouldn't have done that. I don't remember how I had this set up now. I have to go back and review the footage. Well, let's get the stuff set up and we'll figure it out. So we have those going in like that. And then pipe roller, we want these guys. We have them going in like that. Have them going in like that. We'll have you going in like that. That will get all the rods being made. Then I remember I had the option of switching them. But it'd be nice to retain that option. Or merging conveyors back down here. Yeah, we need that. That. We need to combine those into another one. Like that. Like that. And if I had one of these, I need the routing conveyor. This guy. Number 8. So, is there different variants of this? Just direction-wise. Well, let's try that. That should let us sell them. Then we'll get the rest of it set up. So let's go get this turned back on. So we want the coal to start going in. Get the coal up in the green, we'll turn the iron back on, so we're getting steel. Shouldn't take long for that to get back in the green. There we go. It's heading towards green. Let the iron flow. We'll start getting steel out. One thing I'm concerned about is it making this turn. They're not the best at making turns. So where do you end up? You end up here. I mean, we can make that work, I suppose. All right, we'll see it. We'll see how badly this works. We'll go from there. The money rolling in from the first rods. It's a little close up there, but it lets us fit it in here. I think I had them sitting. Let me spit those words out. Had them sitting a block or two further back before. This seems to be working. We've got all kinds of stuff around here to try to catch the ones that fall off. Look at this. Literally unplayable. We'll see how that works. That seems to be going through. We've got some iron in there for some reason. It's just the way they look. Might be just the way they look. Should all be steel coming out of here. We have plenty of coal, I know that. More than enough coal. Oh. No, that's going alright. We spilled some down in there at some point. You see all this sitting down there. Now, how do we get this out of here? It's a great question. I would need some space. What happens if you send iron through there? I actually don't even know. Let's send you off to get sold. Nope. Let's send you off to get sold. And then the coal will just kind of drop on here. Some of it will get sold, some of it won't. It'll all work out in the end. Alright, that's mostly got the stuff. Yeah, we're at 3,100 objects. It usually runs 3,200 to 3,500. Something like that. Alright, the money is rolling in. How are we looking up here? We have stuff flying all over the place. These occasionally end up mostly over here. I don't know. Something about the angle. There we go. We got steel threaded rods flying off the shelves. So the iron threaded rod was about 43. Steel threaded rod is 64. Nice. Add a little coal and the price goes way up. I like it. Alright, we're just going to crank through the money. And I'll see you at the end with the ultimate Mine Mogul trophy. We just got about, what, 6.5 million to go? No problem. Well, folks, we're almost there. It's been a while. I think this is like maybe 2 days after I last recorded this episode. I've left this thing running here and there. We're on the home stretch now, just about ready to tick over to 10 million. I don't know how. This thing just made some slag ingots. I don't know how anything could get in here to get contaminated. It must have come from up the line somewhere. I've made a few changes. Mainly, I turned some of the copper miners into the rapid miner. Just to get a little more copper flowing. I think every once in a while, I don't know if it's in the bulk sorter or where it happens. Every once in a while, something slips through that's not supposed to. But we're pouring through the copper now. A nice bit of copper coming in. And yeah, it's just been chugging along. Making pipes. And making gold rods. I did set up a couple places where we're doing standalone shaker tables on some coal. Just to get some gems and diamonds coming through. That seemed to help too. Here we are, finally. Getting ready to take over to 10 million. Come on, little pipe. Hey, there you go. We did it! Yay! Let's wrap up this video. I don't know how long this thing's going to be. It's a lot of different clips over a lot of different days. That's really all we have left to do, is go to the trophies. We can buy the ultimate Mine Mogul trophy. The ultimate Mine Mogul trophy, only available to the true masters of the shaft. Indeed. Now we're very poor again. But by golly, we did it again. We got the ultimate trophy. That was fun. I hope you enjoyed Season 2. The new map's pretty interesting. Of course, there's a lot of different ways to do this, but I like the idea of bringing all the ore into one spot and sorting it out. That worked pretty well. Had to work through some issues, but overall, I'm pretty happy with how this thing turned out. Thanks as always for watching, folks, and I'll catch you in the next adventure. Take care.